Studying overseas has been the biggest dream of many people, especially people from the developing countries. People are looking for opportunities to go to study in the United States of America, to study in Canada, to study in New Zealand, Australia, and Europe. Those are the prime destinations for many people. Also, some other people, they want to go to Asian countries. Some people, they want to go to Japan, China, South Korea, and other countries. But there are different levels of education. Bachelor's, master's, doctorate, postdoctoral studies. But there is a very big group of people who are looking for bachelor's degree or undergraduate studies. So this video, I want to dedicate a little bit of time to explain in detail what does that mean if you are looking for opportunities to study for bachelor's degree, or rather we can say undergraduate degree studies or undergraduate degree. So welcome everyone, this is Ernest Boniface Makulilo, EBM from EBM Scholars, talking to you from my home office here in Belton, Missouri, United States of America. So when you want to study, there are two ways. The first way is to apply as self-financing student. That means you want to go to those countries to study, but who is responsible for the tuition, fees, and living expenses? You'll be your own, or whatever will be your relative or your business, I don't know, but we call self-financing students. But the problem is, majority of you are not in a position to pay for all those costs. In this video, I will talk at the end of the video, in case you want to study as self-financing students, which countries are very good for you. One, in terms of saving the money, but two, in terms of immigration friendliness and the opportunities right after studying in that particular country. But the second part of this video, I'm going to talk about the issue of if you are going to study as someone receiving financial support from the university you are going to study, or from the government, or from any other institutions paying for you to go to study. In other words, you are going to get scholarships. Whether the scholarships be partial or full, I will talk in detail. But I know majority of people who are looking to study overseas, for whatever level, they are focusing more on how can they be in a position to get the scholarships. Some people, they can call it fellowships, or it can be assistantships, whatever name it is. But in the end, another person, another institution, another organization is responsible for tuition, fees, and other related expenses for you to be able to pursue your studies in that particular country. So, in most of the videos, I've been saying this statement. It is practically difficult. Listen and quote me very careful. It is practically difficult for you to be able to get scholarships for undergraduate studies, but it is not impossible. I want you to quote me well, and I'll give you my opinion. What should you do to reach your dream? So the first thing, let's discuss about why am I saying it is difficult for someone to get full funded programs for undergraduate studies, or rather bachelor's degree. It is very simple. Let's go back to find why are these countries give thousands of dollars for one individual to leave their country, the country, maybe from Tanzania, from Ghana, from Nigeria, whatever country you are from, to go to study in Sweden, to go to study in Australia, to go to study in America, to go to study in Canada. Why? Why can't they take 50,000 and give to 50 students to study in Nairobi, to study in Accra, Ghana, to study in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, or at the University of KwaZulu-Natal? Why is it difficult? Why they don't give priority for people to study in their own countries for their bachelor's degree, or just overall for their own degrees? you have to know that when they give you scholarships to come to study in these countries, there is also a way where they are going to benefit. I don't want to go into too details. These are the benefits all over for them, for you to come. But just in overall, when they give you scholarship, they expect you to have a positive contribution to the university you are going, to have a positive contribution to the hosting community or to the city where you are going, or even to the country overall when you are going. So, not many people from America or from Canada have the opportunity to travel to Tanzania, have opportunity to travel to Ghana, have opportunity to travel to Zimbabwe, to South Africa, to South Sudan, to Philippines, whatever country it is. So for that particular case, if you come here, it's just for you, you come here as ambassador of your country. That means they know for sure there are so many people to be able to benefit from you being here. That can be for anybody, whether you are bachelor degree, master's, or PhD. So that is not the reason why there are very few scholarships for bachelor's degree. The number one reason why there are so very few opportunities for bachelor's degree is the language of instructions. Remember, English language is not the language where everybody speaks in all the countries as the mother language or the national language. If you go to Sweden, Swedish is the national language. If you go to Norway, Norwegian is the national language. If you go to Netherlands, they speak Dutch. If you go to Germany, they speak German. So all those countries where English is not the national language, is not the mother tongue of the people, it means the language of instruction, the medium of instruction from kindergarten to bachelor's degree, it is strictly their languages. If you go to Norway, that will be the case. Yes, there will be few programs which you can study in English, but in general, the programs will be from primary school or elementary school to bachelor's degree in their own languages. That makes the programs, the countries with the national language is English, and which provide scholarship are very few. Half of Canada, or 75% of Canada, because Quebec is speaking French. You're talking about entire UK, Ireland, Wales, whatever. All those ones that speak English. You're talking about Australia, New Zealand, United States. Very few countries. So for that particular case, you reduce the number of scholarships. But if you go for graduate studies, masters, PhD, postdoctoral, you will find out there are so many countries, or even if the language of the mother tongue is not English, they teach or they have more programs in English language in those countries. You can go to Sweden and study masters or PhD in English language, using English language. But for instance, in Norway, you can find there are maybe 10 programs, not 10 universities, 10 programs in entire Norway which are in bachelor degree in English language. But all universities, almost all, they have programs in Norwegian for bachelor degree. So that is number one problem. So don't waste your time that I must go to find the scholarships in Norway or Sweden for bachelor's degree. Yes, you might find, but there are very, very few. So why do you need to waste your time? While you're wasting your time, I'll give you the solution, what you need to do while you apply for these programs, what you need to do in your own country. So the reason number one is the language of instruction or medium of instruction of those countries makes difficult to have more opportunities for many countries. Second reason why there are very few programs or scholarships in English, for undergraduate studies, is the fact that these countries, as I said, they benefit. If you go as someone studying master's degree or PhD, they believe for sure if you finish studies, you go back to your home country, you'll have a bigger impact in your country. The purpose of you being given a scholarship to come to these countries, they believe that you are going to gain something and then you return to your home country. That's why in the statement of purpose you have to explain you'll be returning back to your home country and what are you going to do. So just go to Tanzania, go to Kenya, go to most of the countries in Africa. There are so many opportunities for someone to study bachelor's degree in their own countries than going for masters and PhD. Because bachelor degree, you can get a loan. Most of the countries, they have government loan, student loan to go there. Or they might have other programs depending on the country to be able for many people to study bachelor's degree. But masters, they know for sure is extra, but is more specialized. if you study that one, you can be having a very sophisticated impact and a bigger impact in your community than someone in bachelor degree where already you have so many bachelor degree in your own country. Assume someone comes here to study PhD and goes back to your country, Ghana. They assume that the impact will be bigger, let's say if it's tuition to the university, than you coming here to study bachelor degree of political science. What impact are you going to bring? Yes, I believe you have an impact, but if you see the magnitude, someone with masters or PhD, they think that they will have that one. But another reason is, for instance, this will be more specific for the United States. They have what they call assistantships, meaning you come here, you assist certain jobs in the academic arena, then you are going to be given tuition, fees, and the living expenses. They're going to cover certain the amount of that. So if that's the case, there is a problem if you bring someone for bachelor's degree. What the academic contribution the person will be able to do? Will someone in the bachelor degree be able from day one to support being like a seminar leader, tutorial assistant, marking the exams, being there as assistant, assisting academic work, doing the research? No, it is impossible. That's why they take masters and PhD, because they have what is called assistantships, rather than the full scholarship where you are given the money even if you go to sleep and study. But in the US, you have to work 20 hours per week in academic arena in most cases to get what they call assistantship. In some of the countries, we call seminar leaders, OTA, tutorial assistant. Here they can call teaching assistant or research assistant or graduate assistantships. So that is also limiting number of scholarships in America for people to come to study bachelor's degree. And another thing, it comes to the number of years of study. You come to the United States, bachelor degree is 4 years. Master's is mostly 2 years or 1 year. I studied my master's degree for 1 year. In Europe, bachelor degree, most of the universities is 3 years, few 4 years. But again, master's is 2 years, 1 year to 2 years in most of European countries. PhD is 3 years. So if the cost of living, when they give you bachelor or masters, the living expenses of Oslo, they doesn't care whether you are doing bachelor or masters, the living expenses is the same. You'll get the same apartment, so you can find out amount of the money will be more or less the same. So let's say they give 1,500. So why should they give 1,500 for someone to come to study bachelor degree 3 years, while they can do they can bring 3 students and make them get the money for living expenses for 3 years, well, 1 year masters, 1 year master. So within 3 years they can have 3 students for masters than 1 student for master's bachelor degree. Or in the US you can bring 2 students from Africa. They can do 1 master after 2 years. You bring another one in 2 years. So 4 years you have 2 students, but in 4 years for undergraduate you have 1 student. So if you do the math, if you want to have bigger impact in many countries, to have more scholarships, so for masters will be a little bit better to have more opportunities than the bachelor's degree. And then when we go to the PhD, yes, even it will be 3 to 4, 5 years, but yes, it can be 3 years like bachelor or masters, it can be 4 years for PhD like a bachelor degree, but the impact as consultant, as a research, as an instructor or lecturer in your country is huge compared to bachelor degree. So those are some of the reasons why we have a limited number of scholarships for bachelor's degree. I haven't said that we don't have those scholarships. So for instance, in the United States, I've talked about this Berea College over and over. I'll put the link below on this description of this video so that you can be able to figure out that there are scholarships. Berea College is one of the colleges in the United States which provides 100% scholarships for international students. But they take about 30 students each year out of 300 applicants from all over the world. So you need to make sure that you apply a lot. So you cannot just wait, let me apply for Berea and I'm not studying in my own country. Because if you apply for this year, you apply for this year to go to study next year in August. So you cannot apply this year to wait for next year for one university only. What if you don't get it? You lose that year, so you have to apply again next year for the year after. So you are wasting 2 years. If you are already studying in your own country, it could be the second year. Either if you are in the 3-year program you're about to finish, or if you are 4-year program you are waiting for 2 years to graduate. So while you are studying, you can apply for bachelor's degree. But don't stop, I'm waiting for scholarships, while you don't have even anything on your hand. So just start studying in your own country first while you're applying for scholarships for bachelor's degree, because there are very, very few. Yes, there are very few scholarships in Australia. There are very few scholarships in Canada. There are very few scholarships in New Zealand for undergraduate studies. I'll put some of these in the links. I'll just go and search them and post them here. You can be able to see them and you can be able to access them. But for those who want to go as self-financing student to pay for their own, I advise you not to go to the countries which are very expensive in terms of the tuition and the fees. If your aim is to really go to study in that particular country, yes, there are very, very few programs in English language, for instance, in Norway, in Finland, in Sweden. But education in Scandinavia is free of charge. There is no tuition and fees. But if you come to the United States, you are paying maybe 20,000 tuition and fees. And then you have to fund 10,000, 12,000 for the cost of living in that particular area for 1 year. So it takes at least 30,000. But if you go to most of the Scandinavian countries, you don't pay that 20,000. You need to have 12,000 in your bank account. You give them on the bank account to get admission, to get the bank statement from the university, and then once you go there, they give you back your money, and you can work and you can be able to survive. So if you're looking for studies, it will be better for you to go to Norway and other Scandinavian countries. I already made the video about Norway and explained about how you can go about it. And also the list of the universities in Norway with bachelor's degree in English language, I post them here. But overall, find a way to study bachelor degree, first of all, in your own country, and the masters, because there are so many masters programs all over the world as scholarships. But even if you are still planning to apply for bachelor degree, start studying bachelor degree in your own country. Because if you have poor grades in your own country, you cannot be admitted. Why will you be given scholarships to study in Berea? Why will you be given scholarships to go to study at Stanford? If you don't, you cannot be able to play into the local league of Kenya, to Machakos FC, to play for Simba or younger football teams in Tanzania, in those small leagues, or to play for Enyimba in Nigeria. You cannot play for Enyimba. How can you play for Real Madrid or Barcelona? So you have to have very good grades to be able to be eligible to get good programs in your own country first in order to compete at the international arena. So don't say, oh, I got all these and I'm looking for scholarships overseas, while you cannot be even admitted in your own country. Let's be real, let's be honest, let's be realistic on this situation. So don't look for scholarships in overseas while you don't have even qualification to go to the university in your own country. If you cannot go in your own country to be admitted, how can you compete with the entire world from all countries to go to these universities? So those are the things I want to make sure you understand in detail about the bachelor's degree. I'll put the link of the Berea, I'll put the link of Norway, and I'll put the links of other programs which are fully funded for an undergraduate. But remember, you have also to apply to, as if this one doesn't work, to continue to study in your own country, so that you cannot lose, you cannot waste many years waiting just for scholarships. Thank you so much, everyone. Remember to share this video to others, share to your parents, share to your friends, share to your colleagues. Thank you so much.